Don't Tap the Glass is a brand new project from Tyler, the Creator. It's 10 tracks long. A lot of people love it. I think it kind of sounds like an extension of 𝗕𝗥𝗡𝗚. My name's Sean. I'm Lonegevity with Bringing Down the Band and the New Old Heads podcast, and this is my Unpacked series where I go a little bit deeper on segments that we have on the New Old Heads podcast, and also some other stuff as well. So without further ado, let's jump into this, and then I'll kind of decipher it as we go.
Homie Tyler is back in the news. Tyler, the Creator, that
Yes,
is.
he is.
Recently just dropped a new project. And apparently Tyler, the Creator, wants fans and his friends to dance again. This is per him. So Tyler just recently dropped the album.
Does this sound, I mean, tell me in the comments, just off top. Do you guys think that this is like a dance album? Because to me, it just feels like a fun album.
Called Don't Tap the Glass. Artwork is crazy, by the way. It was the big fist, if you've seen it. Look it up. The new album is focused on dance, feel good vibes. This is Tyler's 9th album, and it comes less than a year after his release of the 2024 project that we reviewed, 𝗕𝗥𝗡𝗚.
If you're interested in listening to that review, it's on members only for New Old Heads and also on our Patreon. But we couldn't release it to the public because it got blocked and all that stuff.
Which I loved. I thought it was great. That dropped last fall. So currently he's still on his world tour. So I don't know if he's going to, infuse the new records or whatever. How do you all feel about the project and just the direction after just, 𝗕𝗥𝗡𝗚 was a little bit more heavier, in my personal opinion, more layers, a little bit more depth. This is like, we trying to get out here and dance. I'm getting right to the point. Brian in the video, clips in the video. I'm paying homage and it's up.
I will say it was really dope to see like Tyler acting crazy in that video, but it was cool. Like the video was super dope. And I like the energy of that video. It was really cool to see a random clips and LeBron cameo.
How'd you guys feel about the album overall?
Yeah. It was, I mean, just being fair.
This is always hard, right? When you have an artist that typically, and this is coming from somebody as myself, and also me as an artist as well, when you're a fan of somebody and they drop something that you don't necessarily don't like, but it's not necessarily something that you really rock with super heavy. When you live in this internet space, and maybe you're one of these people, there are people that are just keyboard warriors ready to completely destroy you for having any type of opinion against their savior. And there are certain artists that almost feel like hip hop saviors. And don't get me wrong, nobody's the hip hop savior. That's not a thing. But like Kendrick Lamar is one of them sometimes. So even from somebody like myself, who's a huge fan, advocate, been supporting this guy since he was his first video, way back when I was blogging, to be anything other than just like high praises of it feels a little weird sometimes. But when you have like, quote, and this is what Terry said a long time ago, it's always stuck with me. When you have morals and shit, you got to keep it a buck with how you feel. And that's what I always do, regardless of if it's going to get me drug and regardless of if people are going to come in the comments and yell at me out of my name and be prejudiced and goofy about what do you know? And you can tell just by the way Terry was approaching this that like this isn't like a Drake record where you can just openly say, no, this is trash. It's like, nah, it's not like it's trash. It's like, how do I delicately put this so that the whole bombardment of the Tyler internet doesn't come after you? You know what I mean? But honestly, and present it in an honest way. So anyways, that's just a little bit of whatever.
I respect it. Yeah.
It was subpar to me. I understand what he was doing as far as going for this dance angle.
Yeah.
But like overall, what he released, he probably could have tucked it and just took a couple singles and released those. Like I think I really like one song on there. And the reason why I vibe with it is because it sounds like a mixture of like a Pharrell and Michael Jackson off the wall style beat track song or whatever. So I like that joint. But overall, like it's just like a couple joints on there that I rock with.
So yeah, he's talking about Ring 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 is the record that he likes. But I get what he's saying here because like in general, it's not like any of the records are bad. Nothing on this project is bad. Nothing on this is bad. I listened to it the first time through and I was like, it's cool. And that was it. And I had no inclination inside the soul of my body to be like, man, I need to run this again, or maybe I should come back to this. The only thing that was pulling me to come back to listen to this was the fact that it was Tyler, and I want to give him the benefit of the doubt.
He's in character whenever he makes these albums.
Yeah.
So this character is supposed to be a nod to like the OG hip hop cats. That's why he's got You know what I'm saying? The leather, like LL Cool J pants and the big rope chain and all that shit.
He pays homage, which is dope.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool.
Yeah.
But he could have just kept riding the Cornucopia wave, in my personal opinion.
What you think, Lon?
Yeah, I feel pretty much the same as Terry. We talked about it when he came over here because I just finished listening to it and then ran it again. But
Yeah.
it sounds like Chromacopia throwaways to me.
Chromacopia throwaways.
Yeah, I didn't really. When I say throwaways, I'm somebody who's made albums before, many albums, right? And sometimes you have, when you sit down and you make a project, sometimes you'll have 20 records, sometimes you have 30 records. I'm in the process of working on a project with somebody right now. Me and Major actually are. And we probably have 25 records. And it's not that the records aren't good. It's just that like they didn't fit the full aesthetic of the project we were putting together, right? And so those are essentially throwaway records. This doesn't mean that they're not good. Doesn't mean that they don't have a place somewhere, but it just means they didn't fit the full-on record. So I'm not saying that throwaways is not synonymous with trash. It just means like they were probably decent records, but they weren't quite good enough to be on Chromacopia. The thing is it's not that anything was like horrible.
Yeah.
It's just nothing stood out to me. I like the what was it? Jay Moore's face there is always funny. His facial expression sometimes. Mom man him.
Mom and them.
Yeah.
I liked where it was going.
Cool.
I liked where it was going, but it was like, that was so this episode I was shouts to Jackson, our intern. He was not there, so I had to manage all of the clicking back and forth, so my mind wasn't full. This is one of the reasons why I do the Unpacked series, is because sometimes I'm not able to fully formulate my thoughts on the show because I have to do so many other things at the same time. But I just glanced at it and I was just like, Mama, like my brain was just like, Mama, and I kept it moving, but it didn't register in my head that it was like Mama Nim. So it sounds and it comes off sounding crazy. Like she was like a minute and change.
Yeah.
Some of the other stuff I didn't hate, but the bar is so low for how bad stuff can be now. So like even a Tyler album that's like something I'll never play again is still way better than a lot of stuff, but I would probably never go back to any of these songs. So
it was Ring 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 is the joint I was thinking.
Ring Ring Ring. That's the record.
Yeah.
They sound like a bunch of B-side records for the most part. Like Ring 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 was dope. I did like the record that he shot the video for. I did like Mom and Him. I wish it was a little bit longer, but I think also, even though I respect the stuff that Tyler does musically and, you know, how deep he goes into that bag, man, I really like it. Me personally, I'm a fan of when Tyler just like goes in, like he just raps, you know, like what he did on the Clips album. Like to me, that's Tyler in peak form, even though I highly respect what he does with the musicality and from Chromacopia even into this project, even honestly a little bit before, we've seen his trajectory just kind of like, you know, when it comes to musicality. So I can appreciate it. I just didn't, these ones didn't really hit me as much. I don't know. I'd probably give it somewhere between like a 6.5 or something.
I'll be honest.
And I do have to say I've listened to this again since here twice, and I would probably up it to about a 7.5 if I'm feeling generous, but it's a solid 7, which is a good score.
I tend to agree with you all in terms of, you know, just the record, because I see after I sat down and listened to it and I read, you know,
and that's whereas I would probably rank Chromacopia around an 8.5, somewhere around there. So,
but from a standpoint of actually enjoying the record, it was hit and miss.
Yeah,
you know, a couple joints here, a couple joints there. Like he's a body of work guy to me.
My first playthrough, and I base a lot of my first playthrough because, again, I mentioned this in the past. So in a past life, I was a blogger and I used to get 100 emails a day, you know, like, and you have to skim through stuff and you're listening for specific things that stand out. If this was submitted to me by somebody I didn't know, I probably would pass on it like immediately. Well, that's not necessarily true. That's There's a lot of interesting things happening in it, but I don't know. Maybe that's not the case. I bet if this was somebody that I didn't know, I probably wouldn't be as critical of this as, you know, like a 7.5 would actually be really good for somebody I didn't know. But, you know, when you're Tyler, the Creator, you just have to live up to these super high, ridiculous standards, I guess, and listen to people like me, like, criticize it.
But I don't usually have to skip around for Tyler. On this one, I did a little bit more. But I will say this, man, from producer standpoint and him being a creative, it definitely takes balls to go this direction, because the production, granted, it might not be what I'm looking for based off what he described. he hit the nail on the head for what he was going for.
It
like I was impressed with because
it wasn't really.
To me,
that,
I was impressed with some of the production.
That's
for
what the
what
production
he was trying
wasn't
to go
left
for.
field though. To me, it wasn't even that the production was left field to where I don't mess with some of the songs. It just as a whole just wasn't it for me.
Granted, I know where Mike's coming from because he really appreciates the the theory essentially behind what Tyler's doing here. But like, this sounds like an extension from 𝗕𝗦𝗡𝗚. Like if this was the first time we've heard him harmonizing and singing in his super high falsetto and doing the stuff that he's doing, then that would be one thing. But like, I don't really hear it like that. I feel like, and as far as like it being a dance record, not really. It just sounds like a fun record. It sounds fun. And even when he was describing that thing in that Instagram post where it's like he wrote that thing out, like to me, he wasn't describing dancing. I mean, sure, dancing was a part of it, but he was just describing people enjoying themselves without the fear of being judged. And to me, it was just more fun, less dance. So, yeah, I mean, I know that's a nuance. But
Like I like the risk for the production. I ain't gonna hold you.
I thought I kind of stand by the fact that I think that these sound like 𝗕𝗦𝗡𝗚 throwaways because like. Even though like he kind of premised this like this is a dance record, I'm like there are a couple records I'm like who's dancing to this? It made me look at the project from a different point of view, but it still didn't make me like it anymore.
That's fair. What you think? What you think, Jay? Overall,
I really like this record.
I ain't mad at you. I mean,
really do.
I like.
I love the contrast, and what I love about our show. You can disagree with us all you want, but the one thing that I will stand on is every single time you watch our show, you're getting exactly how we feel about something. It doesn't matter who it is. And there's no politics. We don't subscribe to it at all. That's probably why we're not bigger than what maybe we could be.
Wait, I see what he was doing.
I mean, sometimes people say, they always say, "Oh, I'm gonna do something for the summertime." That is this. There's a pocket on the album as far as with the ring ring, don't tap the glass, don't you worry, baby. Like it's right there.
That was kind of like a instrumental type of track, though, wasn't it?
It was, yeah, but I'm just like I said, I enjoyed this record. I mean, it's not really a long listen.
Yeah, it's like 28 minutes.
And as far as anything that would be a 𝗕𝗦𝗡𝗚 like throwaway, and I really like this. The last song on the album, Tell Me What It Is. Like that's as close as maybe like the introspective Tyler.
Yeah,
that that we got from 𝗕𝗦𝗡𝗚. Like I said, I like this record.
It sounded like an outro, I would say. The outro sounded like an outro. Like I think that was the one time in the entire listen through. The first listen that I gave it was just a very passive listen. But that was the first song where I kind of like, what's going on here? You know what I mean? Everything else was just like it's just like background music.
It was fun to listen to. Like a lot of times I don't have a lot of fun listening to these projects.
Because you want to dance.
Well,
he want to dance, don't he?
I don't know. Maybe I do want to dance. I don't know.
I don't know. I listened to it. It didn't make me want to dance. But
I will say that I listened to it the first time and was like, eh.
Yeah.
I listened to it again. I was
That's exactly how I felt the first time I listened to it. I was just like, man.
like, okay.
Okay.
That's exactly how I was too.
It got me as soon as the first listen. I was like, oh, okay, I vibe with this.
So here's a question I have on this album or this project or whatever we want to call it. How many of these joints you gonna run?
Ring, ring, ring. I would run that.
You still hanging up on just that one?
And again, Terry here, who's talking, J-Def with the Gordon Gartrell shirt on. He's a DJ. So
the one he got the single for.
Oh, with
what's
the
that?
clips
Stop
and
Playing
Brian
With
them in
Me.
there.
Big Poe, is that Big Poe?
Big Poe is dope. I like Big Poe.
Stop Playing With Me.
Stop playing with me.
Stop playing with me. That's the name of it. Stop playing with me. I just like the aggression of that record. Like that, to me, that's one of the standouts, I think.
It's the one with Brian and the clips, I think.
The one with Yebba is I'll Take Care of You.
I fool with Yebba. Yeah, I fool with Yebba.
It's either the Don't Worry Baby or I'll Take Care of You, which is one of those two is more instrumental.
Yeah.
Like there's not really verses on it. So I mean,
so he can get some burn, a little bit of burn.
I can pick something off a trash album. That's not really saying nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, talk that
like
there.
straight up. And I'm not saying this is a trash album.
No, I feel you.
I'm just saying like,
yeah.
Even like some of the, we just had this conversation about, you know what I'm saying, having to pick between this CD and this CD on Tuesdays back in the day.
Yeah.
We right before the show, we were talking about back in the late 90s and stuff when we were kids, and you had just enough money for one CD, like you had to choose which record you wanted to buy because you were a kid and you didn't have money to buy both records. And the only thing you were going off of was like the cover art, the artist, and maybe a music video you saw. And I gave the example of listening we talked about, I think it was Gangstar and Jurassic 5 dropped on the same day. And I bought Jurassic 5 based on Quality Control. And I remember being highly disappointed in my purchase because that was the only record that I kind of or song on there that I kind of liked. You know, and back then you would get burned a little bit on that. So anyways.
It might have had a song that lured you to that album.
Yeah. You're
going to run that one, but the rest of it might have been
It's happened multiple times.
I mean, I think everybody has a song on their album that'll get some run.
I mean, even like we talked about like Raekwon's Immobility, like I did not like that record. And we talked about this last week on the podcast, like 444. But it was like, there were still 2 records on there that I did play over and over and over. So
it's something I can work with. But like overall, it like he said, he's advertising it as a dance album.
Yeah.
It might resonate with people younger than us more
That's
than
true.
this
It definitely will.
was. Like,
100%.
I 100% agree with that. Absolutely.
Jackson said he really liked it.
Yeah.
That's
So-
true. That's
Yeah.
it. That's that lane.
And that's where I come back to, like, I ranked it low, but it's just the way that I felt about it. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't think it was horrible. Like, I again, like,
No, it's not trash.
a low Tyler is still extremely high for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but that's just my very true.
No, like I'm gonna, I'm not done with this album. Sometimes I listen to records just so we can talk about them here, and then I move on because, like I said, there's so much to listen to, so much.
That is absolutely what this is for me. I gave it way more run than I typically give records when we talk about them.
I know I got so much time, but no, like there's several tracks on here I'm going to run.
I think I've been I don't want to say programmed, but that Clips album and that Larry June and Carlo album kind of got me in a hole right now.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So when I pivoted to listen to the
It
Tyler,
is a pivot.
That's a
it kind of
huge
was
pivot.
like, okay, I'm ready to get back to this other shit.
Yeah.
No, that's fair.
And I ain't taking nothing away from Tyler because I like Tyler's projects for the most part.
Yeah.
But this one is just not for me personally. I can take some. I might listen to it again just to see, but like I said, it's not a bad album to where it felt like poison to my ears and like that. It's just I wasn't vibing. I'm not in the mood for that right now.
Yep. Because there are definitely albums like that. That's why we still ranked it kind of high. It's like I think Terry said he gave it a 7 too. Super solid.
There is a actual article where he says, I asked some friends why they don't dance in public. And some said because of the fear of being filmed.
Right.
He's like, I thought, damn, a natural form of expression and a certain connection they have with music is now ghost. It made me wonder how much of our human spirit got killed because of the fear of being a meme or just having a good time. Which actually makes sense. I never thought about it like that, but in the society that we're in now, he actually makes a good point. He said, I got back to listening. I got back from a listening party for this album, and man, it was one of the greatest nights of my life. He says 30 people, no phones allowed, no cameras, just speakers and a sweatbox. Everyone dancing, moving, expressing. It was truly beautiful. I played the album front to back twice, and it felt like pent up energy finally got released, and we craved the idea of letting more of it out.
And I would say, like, if that's the goal of this and it is succeeding in spaces that exist, like clubs and house parties and around different areas where this, if it's doing what it needs to be doing out there, then that's great. That's spectacular. Awesome. You know what I mean? There's different music for different reasons, so.
I guess the fans of more of an introspective Tyler or the conceptual Tyler.
Like, not everybody wants to listen to Miami bass all the time. Not everybody wants to listen to, UK house all the time. Not everybody wants to listen to boom bap from 1993 all the time. You know what I mean? So, and we ebb and flow and depend on what we like. So, I mean, hey, if this album does really well and it's received extremely well, hey, I have no problems with that.
Chromacopia Tyler. How do you think people are going to react to this? Because granted, he's a chameleon to me, but this is a crazy shift from.
I don't think it's that big of a shift like that.
I don't think it's that big of a shift.
It's Tyler. It's almost expected for Tyler to give you something.
Okay, that's fair.
That's
fair.
You may not.
And I stand on the fact that I don't think this is a dance album. I think this is just a fun project. Like, this is not dance to me. I don't know.
Expect from him, so to speak. So I don't think.
And again, it sounds like extension of Chromacopia. So I don't really buy into what Mike has been selling here, that this is like major pivotal shift musically that Tyler is into. To me, it just sounds like an extension of
Especially people that really rock with Tyler, the creator, are thinking like that.
Let me ask you this, bro, since you said that. do you give him P's for listening to his friends and then applying that to his art? Do you think that's dope? Is there something there? Or is that just?
I think if this is the case and this is a true story and it's not just like a marketing narrative, as a creative, you're not, even if your friends are saying it, you're not going to go down some random rabbit hole and do something creative unless you buy into the idea itself. So he definitely bought into it.
I think sometimes you listen to your friends, and other times I think I would tell people not to listen to your friends because you have to do you. So the fact that he's crowdsourcing, asking people public opinion to see what's what.
But did they ask him to make a dance album? And to me, it sounds like he asked, "Why aren't you dancing anymore?"
That's fair.
They told him why they aren't dancing anymore.
And then he applied that.
He made an album.
Yeah.
He had a party.
Yeah.
Invited these people to listen to the album with no phones and no nothing.
Yeah.
So that they could, you know what I'm saying, be outside their body and lose all their inhibitions for a minute.
Yeah.
But those are his people.
Yeah.
Like,
That's fair.
imagine
That's
being
fair.
invited to a party by Tyler, the Creator, and your expectation is to dance and have fun. Are you not going to dance and have fun?
Right.
Yeah, that's not that hard to figure out.
You know
You're
what I'm saying? I mean, and
Okay.
this ain't taking nothing away from him because I know he don't rock with podcasts anyway. So he might,
That's real.
if he
That's
were to
real.
see this, he'll probably in our whole conversation because we even talking about it. But we don't
Yeah,
dislike
we rock
Tyler,
with you,
the
Tyler. We
Creator.
rock with you.
I think Tyler is being Tyler. His name, it's in his name, Tyler the Creator. He's out here to create different things, different vibes, different energies, different sounds.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's just who he is.
Yeah.
And so I don't think
The creation through life, man.
this is left field at all. I think he just put something out. He was feeling this on his spirit at the moment. He wants to make people move.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? He wants to make people feel like him because if you see anytime Tyler's performing or anything, he's always dancing and
That's true.
moving.
Even on 𝗕𝗥𝗡𝗚, he out there losing his mind. That's facts.
Yeah.
What you think, Lone? Not that much of a pivot, just pretty much.
No, I don't think it's much of a pivot at all. I just wasn't impressed by these particular 10 records. That's all.
Gotcha.
That's really all it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like he's an artist that typically when he drops something, you're not really sure exactly what you're going to get from him.
That's true.
And that's part of the allure. This sounds just like a continuation of previous stuff. So maybe that's partially into why I was just kind of like, okay, this is cool. It's like an extension from his last record.
Just Tyler being Tyler.
Yeah, doing things that he's doing. But if you're like a diehard Tyler, the Creator fan, you're going to love this. I'm not a diehard Tyler, the Creator fan. I just appreciate Tyler for who he is. I appreciate him more for who he is and what he represents than I do his music sometimes. And it's not to say that I don't like his music, because I do like his music, but like I like what he represents. I like how he conducts himself. I like how he attacks things. I like his confidence and everything. I like him as a person. And with that, I do like a lot of his music. But if I'm going to list my favorite musicians that do the same type of stuff that Tyler does do in his music, he's not one of my favorites, you know? And that's not to say that Tyler doesn't do it super well. It's just like, I have the things that I like. So I think as I'm saying this, it's like, I like this. Like, I like this project, but it's just not stimulating me in the way that I kind of like, I usually enjoy. Like, it's not anything I've never heard, and I've heard a lot. And so it's like, I have high expectations, so it's just kind of what it is. But, you know, I think, you know, fans that love the introspective and conceptual Tyler that you're talking about with me, I think they're going to react the way that me and Terry probably reacted to some degree. You know, It's like, it's cool. Like, it's not that it's bad. Like, I'm not I'm not saying it's bad. It's just like, it just didn't hit me in the way that, you know, I wanted it to. When I think of like a dance album, this is not a dance album that I think of.
Yeah.
You know, like I've seen a couple people mention stuff like, oh yeah, it's got like 𝗕𝗥𝗪𝗏-esque type moment. I'm like, no, it doesn't. Like,
no, I wouldn't say that.
didn't hear
Yeah,
that.
I wouldn't say that.
and it's
Yeah,
like, do you listen to 𝗕𝗥𝗪𝗏? Like, it's a different type of vibe. I feel like this is just a fun project. It's just fun.
Yeah.
I don't know if dance is really what I would. It just seems fun, you know.
Yeah.
So, and that's cool. You know, if it's not for me at that moment, who cares?
That
You know?
part.
Yeah. You don't have to like everything that people give you. Some of my favorite artists have dropped things that I don't really rock with.
Yeah.
But it's okay. You know?
One of my favorite artists of all time, and I've been following him since I first heard him in the low budget stuff, is Odyssey. And we've sat down with him and talked with him when he was here in Indianapolis. We have a full interview up if you want to check it out. Odyssey is one of my favorite artists and producers of all time, period. I love his music. I think he does a great job. I like him as a person as well. Like, I have tons of respect for him. I've been able to follow his journey, grow with him. he's dropped a lot of stuff where back to back to back, I was like, ooh, good, dope. And then I don't know if it was his last one or the one before that. It just didn't connect with me. It just didn't connect. Like he had been connecting for over a decade. And when I listened to it, it's not like the project and the music was bad. It was just that particular album and that record just didn't resonate with me at that period of time. And it's really hard to be able to do that over somebody's lifetime. There's only one artist that I can think of ever that has resonated, that I have grown up with, and that's Fonte. He's the only artist where I have every single thing that he's done, I've been like, that's really good. He's the only one out of a bazillion super, super talented artists. So it's like, this is normal. This is normal behavior. Like this, it's normal to not necessarily love everything just because you're supposed to love something. I know I'm being like very defensive here, and I don't feel like I even need to, or I don't know. I feel like I just definitely want to. What's important about this conversation is that it's okay to not like something. I don't think you have to be like evil and mean when you dislike something, but not everything that you just don't like is like an indictment on somebody's person or their creativity or anything like that.
I'm saying it might have resonated with somebody else.
Yeah.
Somebody else might like it, but
That's cool.
yeah.
When you can keep it a buck though, you can do that. You can decipher between the two.
Cisco and Ibra kept it a buck.
Yep.
Right.
It did. What you think, man? What you think, Jay? There's
Well, not
nothing
necessarily,
there.
but yeah, go ahead.
Where everyone used to.
Well, no.
What you think about just
I once again, it's been 6 months of me not being in the nightclub life, if you will. But you know, I did see that people don't want to dance because everyone has a phone.
I do believe that.
And like,
I do believe
it
that.
takes someone to finally get on the floor. Like, I mean, and I'm not just talking about younger people. Sometimes, like, I went to a situation this weekend where I'm like, hey, it's a whole dance floor here. Y'all just kind of standing around. And
People was having fun there, though.
But then, like, once it kicked off,
Yeah.
it's like it's almost like you have to see someone else having fun to loosen up and want to enjoy.
I wonder, like, on a deeper note, I wonder how much I would be very interested in if somebody like did a study on this in relation to like society and adult ADD and neurodivergency and how all this translates and how like screen time relates to all this stuff and just the psyche of people being afraid to just be judged constantly and what that actually does to me. I mean, I know what it does and I know what it's done to me as somebody who generally doesn't care, but I mean, I care, but you know what I mean? Probably. But it's like, it's an entire generation of just, I think I say it here in a second, of just being afraid to be cringe.
For yourself.
Then you want to tiptoe out there and be involved.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird thing because that used to be the thing. Like, if we go out, we're going to,
no matter who's watching, it didn't matter.
Cut a little rug, but that's not really the thing now. People come and they literally, even if they don't have VIP, just stand around or hanging out at the bar and, it takes
too cool.
It takes until the end of the night, maybe, to where people want to shake a little ass, But that's just the culture now.
Yeah,
You got to get that liquor in you.
I mean, sometimes you see, and the people don't have those inhibitions, if you will. But you see a lot more than you don't. And
I will say, as somebody who has had social anxiety for a long time, I'm definitely a stand by the side and just kind of witness type of person. Generally speaking, I've had my moments in my past, right? But like, that's where the alcohol comes in and makes you loosen up a little bit, I guess. I don't know.
I think that's I don't know. I don't want to say it's sad, but it's like where is that kind of man woman thing happening out on the dance floor that that we used to do? Like remember.
Well, I got a couple examples I could say, but I'm not going to say on the show.
Right. But once people get into it, I think that is messed up because when we shout to Nate Jeezy, he was here, was interviewed for a project that we have coming up, and he said, I'm just so glad, like, when I was trying to get my rap career started, wasn't any smartphones,
man.
Because now if you step out and try to do something, whether it be good or bad, it's all documented somehow.
Yeah.
People are afraid of being cringe. That's what a lot of it is. People are afraid of being cringe.
Oh, being cringe. Okay.
It's like there's this real fear about like, I don't want to be cringe because I don't want people to judge me in a very specific type of way. And life kind of lives in the cringe a little bit. It's okay to be a little cringy. This is what it is.
But that once again, like everybody's always being recorded somehow.
Everybody's too cool.
Whether it be people trying to get into the club at WNBA All-Star Weekend, or people at a what was it, Coldplay concert.
Yeah,
you know, it's like
yeah.
that. You know, 20 years ago, that would have never been captured and disseminated through all forms.
That WNBA thing was wild because the WNBA player went on stage talking to a DJ, trying to say, you need to change the music. Now, me, somebody who's around DJs, it's like, go sit your ass down somewhere because don't tell the DJ how to do their job. And number two was crazy because the DJ was Diplo. So, but it's just like the audacity some people have. But anyways, that's neither here nor there.
Of media and the way it was because everyone didn't have a high definition camera in their pocket. You know, also, I think if you're going to be out creeping, you know, just act like nothing happened. You know, once you tried to push the girl away and all that stuff, then it made you look hella guilty. But that's neither here nor there. But like, I think that's part of it. People are just afraid to live their lives and then sometimes enjoy themselves. And I think that's sad.
And it's not going away.
No, it's only going to get worse. It's like,
Yeah.
I remember when I went to go, who would I go? I remember I went to go see Jay-Z.
Which is also a very interesting part about this Tyler project and the attention behind it. Like if the goal is to help people get out of their inhibitions a little bit, you know, how is that accomplished on a much larger scale? You know, that's a conversation I'm interested in having.
And like, I found myself, you know, doing this with my phone. And I'm like, or first of all, who am I going to show this to?
That part.
Second of all, it's like when people record fireworks. Who are you going to show? I've never been somewhere and been like, hey, man, you got any videos of fireworks on your phone? Like,
Sure
nobody
do.
cares.
Can I see them, please?
Yeah.
You know, so like, do better about living in the moment.
Yeah, people are too busy trying to impress social media at the end of the day. Everything has to look like a movie, so they're not going to have fun. People aren't out to sweat. They want to show you their new outfit and act like it was the greatest night ever, essentially. So
It's a movie.
Those days
That's
are gone.
the phrase. It's
You
a
know what
movie.
I'm saying?
We
We used
shooting
to
a
go
movie
out
out here.
I remember going out and you would be tired from having a good time
Oh, yeah.
at the club. You know what I'm saying? And still would go out and get something to eat, clown there, get home maybe when the sun is coming up. Like, those days are gone, man. We're not going to
I mean, they're gone for us because we're older.
get those days back. But shout out to him for trying to restore the feeling.
I think those days still exist for younger people. Maybe it's just not the same. It's just not probably, I don't know if you can ever like emulate what life was like before social media, before the internet. The 90s, early 2000s was a different time. Sure.
I do appreciate that.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
hopefully it restores the feelings for the younger generation, but I just don't see it. It definitely doesn't resonate with our generation as far as making us want to dance off the Tyler the Creator. It's hard even
Except for maybe Jay Moore.
trying to convert people over to listen to Tyler the Creator.
Yeah.
So this wouldn't be the one that I would probably introduce to him.
Yeah. Appreciate the effort, though. He had the parts. He had the suit. I saw where he was going, so I get it. So hopefully it lands the way that he wants it to land.
I'd say overall, like I said, I give it probably 7.5. This would be one of those projects that maybe I'd come back to in like a year and listen to it again, and maybe it resonates a little bit differently. You know what I mean? But very solid project. You know, it's called Don't Tap the Glass. I do like the video. What's it called? Don't Stop Playing With Me or something. I do like that one. It's kind of aggressive. The Ring 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 record's good. The Momonym is pretty decent. Honestly, every song on there is really decent. Every song on there is pretty good. It's just nothing like struck me in a way that was like, man, I have to listen to this tomorrow. I have to listen. Like this is something that I need in my daily rotation. Like nothing like resonated with me on a high level. And who knows? Maybe that's also a symptom of just who I am and the amount of media that I have to consume and stuff like that. So maybe that's part of it. But very solid. But I'm more curious to see where Tyler goes from here. You know, 𝗕𝗥𝗡𝗚 was great. I really liked the idea, the story behind it. And honestly, this one wasn't even that far away from it. But again, some of the 𝗕𝗥𝗡𝗚 stuff definitely stands out as a much, a stronger piece of work in my opinion. But, you know, not everything has to be something like that. So again, this is Sean. With the New Old Heads, if you want to become a member of the show, if you like these types of discussions, if you don't hate us at the end of this discussion, if you like that raw, unfiltered discussion, patreon.com/newoldheads to become a member. This is a part of our show. We usually record for 2 hours every Tuesday, and we release about an hour of it, and everything else lives on our Patreon. So, yep, that's that. Until next time, peace.